What is going on, guys? It is me, Cyrus. Today I want to talk to you about Ys Book 1 and 2. Ys Book 1 and 2 is an action RPG. This is a version of Ys that was put together for the TurboGrafx 16 and was included as a pack-in for the Turbo Duo when it was reimagined back in 1992 when the console was reimagined. But the game was also reimagined as well because it is a combination of two different games, the first Ys and the second. And it's amazing because this was my introduction to the Ys series. I actually did not play this on the Master System or on the computers that it was available on, or on the NES. I mean, the first Ys was available on a lot of things, and the second one was also available on several platforms. But when they put them both together for the TurboGrafx 16, they did a pretty substantial overhaul. This is one of the first really notable CD games that had ever come out, period. Let alone for consoles. I'm talking period. This was one of the first games that was like, oh, okay, this is why we're going to want to get games on CD, because this game did reimagine the graphics. It retold the story. It combined the two games together into one long experience, sort of like one long game. And it completely overhauled the music with really amazing music that still sounds phenomenal to this day. Ys Book 1 and 2 is a game that I spent quite a bit of time on, and I was absolutely fascinated with. Before I had a chance to get it, I would see this in magazines and think about it, and I really wanted it. I lusted after getting this game, but I couldn't get it. I did have a TurboGrafx a couple years before I got a Turbo Duo, and I really wanted to get the CD-ROM attachment, and this was one of the main reasons why, because of Ys Book 1 and 2. But I just was not able to do that. But thankfully, in 92, when they launched the Turbo Duo, like I said previously, this was included as one of the pack-in titles for that game, game console. So that was pretty cool. And back in the day when you fired up your TurboGrafx Super CD or CD or whatever, or you fired up your Turbo Duo later, the experience that you had was pretty amazing. Now, I'm playing this on my PC Engine Duo RX, and it's just composite video, but the game, I think, still looks and sounds absolutely phenomenal. I could only imagine firing that thing up on an original TurboGrafx CD in 1989 when it came out. Holy crap.
Ys, the ideal utopia. Once a country so peaceful and prosperous. A country where children were as free as the wind. A country where harmony blew through the hearts of all men. Ys, a kingdom ruled by the wisdom and charity of its 6 powerful priests. An empire watched over and blessed by the enchanting aura of its 2 beautiful goddesses. Ys, the seemingly tranquil paradise suddenly pulled from the height of its civilization to the empty abyss of infinite isolation. How could such a land of promise simply vanish from the face of the planet? How could such prosperity be forgotten? The legend has been silenced for over 700 years. And now, the mystery unfolds.
So, yeah, it just absolutely blew my mind playing this for the first time when I was able to back in the day. It just firing this up on the Turbo Duo was a fantastic experience. The cinematics, there's not a whole lot of them in the game. There are some separate little cutscenes where you do have some like voice acting and things like that, but it's not a whole lot. But the opening sequence, there's a middle sequence and an ending that's really, really cool. If you love RPGs, this is definitely one you need to experience. This was not a game that required the Super CD expansion or anything like that. This actually ran off of just the standard system card that came with the original TurboGrafx CD. So I think it's even that much more impressive. Now, the graphics are simplistic JRPG style graphics. It's an action RPG, so it's not turn-based. You just run into the enemies to fight them and stuff like that. But it tells a very good story. And there's a bunch of different weapons and different enhancements you can get. There's just a lot of fun to be had. Castles and dungeons to explore. There's a tower called Darm Tower that you have to go through to complete the first game. And then you go to the second game. So it's 2 games. And the second game is even longer than the first game. And it's just a really phenomenal experience. Like I said, that I have to recommend. The CD music is fantastic, but even the standard PSG music that the Turbo produces is pretty cool too. Listen to some of this right here. It's not too bad. Of course, once you get outside the city, the CD music kicks back in and then you're really flying. What's cool, not every game offers some enhancements to let you do things faster, but this game does. It gives you an option to control the speed of the game if you want it to go a little faster or if you want it to look a little bit smoother. So if you go outside the city, you'll hear the CD music kick in. course, I don't have any weapons. You just run into these enemies and you'll fight them, but I don't want to do that at the moment. Let's see if I have a save game on here. I have a save game, but it's in the second. Let's see. Oh yeah. You see, varying degrees of experience. Obviously, I maxed out all my stuff on that save. We'll pull up this one here and see where that takes us. You see how you just run into the enemies to fight them. I'll show you some of the, like, see, I got like a fireball. Oh boy. You can die very easily, obviously. Nice magic effect there. Take a look at some of my equipment. Yeah, I got a bunch of different types of stuff, different types of magic that I can use, different weapons. I played through this a long time ago on my previous channel, Video Game Virus. I did play through this, and I might do that again at some point, but this is a game I have so many great memories. I've played through this game several times, and every time I do, I have a blast. It's so much fun. The third Ys 3 is a little bit different than this, but it's still really cool. I actually played through that on the Super Nintendo first before I ever played through it on the Turbo. But again, I did that on my other channel. And then Ys 4, The Dawn of Ys, is absolutely phenomenal. If you never played through any of the old school Ys games, you really should. They're quite a bit different from the newer Ys games that have been released on more modern consoles. And I think if you're interested in the old style RPGs and action RPGs in particular, then you'll find a lot of reasons to jump into something like this. But yeah, back in the day, this was an experience that I salivated over for years and was finally able to have when my mom got me that Turbo Duo. And I've been able to, like I said, go back to this game every few years and play through it again, and I have just as much fun as I did that first time. So I absolutely have to recommend it. What a great game, or couple of games, I guess, collection of games to have on the TurboGrafx 16 and the Turbo Duo PC engine. You can play the Ys games on other things. They've made more modern remakes of these two games as well. But for me, the TurboGrafx is the sweet spot for retro nostalgia and just a great fun experience with amazing graphics and awesome music. So anyway, have you ever played through Ys Book 1 and 2? Have you ever tried these games? Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if this is something that you would be interested in trying at some point, or if it's something that you experienced yourself and what that was like. What did you think about it? So that's all I'm going to say for now, and I will let you experience the games for yourself if you haven't already, and we'll talk more later. Bye-bye.